it out of the thought. But if it perpetuates thought, it's not being useful. So yes, it's like we have the philosophy, but what we want is we want to have the experience, whatever, the raw experience. And then any philosophy we've been given, any thoughts we've had, right? It's like we have the experience, and then it's like we can go, oh, aha, now I see what that's about, and that fits for me, or it doesn't, right? So this is actually, it's a process that's talked about in yoga, that it's like we have the knowledge so that when we have the experience, we can also give it mental meaning. And ultimately, this is to help us change the paradigms that we've been living under and perhaps not even recognizing. And when we can change those paradigms, we can change ourselves, we can change our world. So it's like, yes, we get a little philosophy, and then we don't have to have an experience that mirrors the philosophy, because that's just telling ourselves what to experience. We want to have direct experience. So if it's experience of other beings, if it's experiences of babbling brooks, if it's experiences of rocks, it doesn't matter. Well, it matters to each one of us. And only through having our own unique experience can any kind of philosophical structure make sense. And I feel like what we don't want to do with our new paradigms is what we've done before, right? Which is institutionalize them. Mm-hmm. And pretend that they are the eternal truth. Because there is no way, I don't know if ever human beings will be able to put the eternal truth into words. So words are pointers. We can transmit power and we can transmit truth through words, even if the words aren't completely accurate to the truth. Okay? But also we need to be very careful about how we receive words and not take them as something solid and this is now how I should see life. Okay? Because there's no should about seeing life or seeing the self. So what I was thinking about today, and I think I might write a blog about this, I also been thinking about this in terms of practice, right? We have so many practices and they're wonderful, and I usually recommend that you find a practice that really seems to speak to you and you stick with it. And that we have our core practices, our core meditation practices, and our asana practice, or whatever it is for us, that we stick with it and we do it regularly. I think that's very, very important. Our breath practices, all of that. But that wonderful old expression, practice makes perfect. Well, that's not it. Practice doesn't make perfection. If we're lucky, practice reveals perfection. And that perfection already is. And it already is within each and every one of us. It's within the world, the universe, the cosmos. There is true perfection, even in the ugliness and the brutality and the atrocity. That doesn't mean that we're going to seek those things out, and it doesn't mean that we don't want to stand up and stand for change, because if we truly practice love, right, we cannot stand for the expressions of hatred in the world. But we don't need to treat them with hatred. We need to treat everything and everyone with loving compassion. including ourselves. And so to let your practices be revelatory. But don't just practice because you're practicing. I mean, there actually are times when we're going to do that. I call them those the placeholder practices, right? I call my placeholder meditations. It's like, I sit for the 30 minutes or 45 minutes and, the mind hasn't stopped. But it's like, okay, so I did it. But to just remember that the goal is to be with what already is, what is already known, what is already seen, but obfuscated. So, Shuddha was talking about the diamond, and there's that. Practice can kind of also, provide the pressure for the luster of the diamond to shine. But there's another metaphor in the Buddhist tradition, which is called polishing the mirror. Right? And so to think of our practice as, kind of a wax on, wax off, Mr. Maragi, polishing the mirror of the self. That mirror is always there, but when it's filled with dirt, there's no reflection, there's no shine. We can't even see ourselves in it. But when the mirror is clean and it takes in the light of the sun, then all is revealed. And so the mirror is a reflection, our mirror is a reflection of that great oneness. And if we look in it and we see ourselves, we are also seeing a reflection of that great oneness that is actually only revealed to us by that oneness that is always streaming. Just because we can't see anything in the mirror doesn't mean the sun went out, right? It means there's dirt and dust and stuff. And so if there's anything I would encourage all of us to go away with, is at least the idea that the perfection is already there. And our only work is to polish the mirror so we can see it shine. And to know that when we see ourselves in the mirror, we are seeing the shining of the one sun, the one light. So, let's celebrate. Jai Ma.
Jai Ma.
What does Jai Ma mean? Oh. Well, let's see. What does Ma mean? What is Ma? Mother. And Ma is the most primal expression of the child for mother. Ma, Ma, Ma. Just as the bee's primal expression is the Om, Om, Om. And actually one of my favorite chants is Om Ma, Om Ma, Om Ma, Om Ma, Om. And of course the Jai, it's the celebration. It's the victory, right? It's the victory over ignorance. It's the victory over the dirt on the mirror. And it is also saying, you, Ma, you are my hero, right? It is through you that I can see, that I can breathe, that I can feel, that I can love. And I see with your eyes, with your hands, and with your love force, which is a manifestation of that limitless, eternal, absolute, always present love. How's it?
Yeah. So, this tune is very simple, and it's, I hope that everyone feels comfortable to join in, because it's one thing to hear and another to make those vibrations, and there are no bad sounds. And it's very simple. Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Jai Ma. Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Mama. Okay? So I haven't played it yet, so I'll play a tune, and then we'll sing together. We'll go slow, and then we'll go fast, and hopefully everyone will have their own vibratory experience of celebration.
Jai Ma.
It was a little work in progress.